in the chilling embrace of Ravenshadow, a town where the sun's rays are forever shrouded by the overcast sky, an eerie tranquility prevails. Ravenshadow is a place where time seems to stand still, shrouded in a persistent gloom that clings to its cobblestone streets and ancient, weather-beaten buildings. Its grim atmosphere is palpable, thick as fog and just as hard to penetrate. The town is an enigma, plagued by strange occurrences that defy explanation. A chilling wind whispers through the town square, carrying with it the echoes of unseen specters. The residents, burdened by the town's sinister legacy, live in an unnerving silence, their eyes betraying a fear they dare not voice. An unspoken terror lingers in the air, as tangible as the cold stone of the town's age-old monuments. At the heart of this unsettling quietude lies a peculiar antique store, a beacon of mystery that materializes every 13 years. Known to none by a name, the antique store appears as a silhouette on the town's gloomy landscape, its inscrutable nature captivating the curiosity of both locals and outsiders. Every 13 years, like clockwork, it materializes out of thin air, its ghostly visage a haunting reminder of the town's cursed past. The store houses a myriad of peculiar artifacts, each with its own tale to tell. A grandfather clock that runs backwards, a mirror that reflects nothing, a doll with eyes that seem to follow your every move, all shrouded in a palpable aura of unease, as though they've been touched by an otherworldly hand. And then there's the store itself, a riddle wrapped in a mystery. Its windows are darkened, its door creaks ominously, its walls whisper tales of dread. It's a place that exudes an uncanny allure, drawing the curious and the brave towards its dark embrace. Those who dare to cross its threshold are never seen again, their stories silenced by the store's ominous walls. As the clock ticks towards the store's reappearance, a sense of dread fills the air. The town's residents start to vanish, their absence as chilling as the winter wind. The eerie town of Ravenshadow, once bustling with life, now echoes with an unsettling quiet. One by one, the townsfolk begin to disappear, consumed by the shadows. Their homes are left untouched, their lives interrupted mid-flow. Meals are left half-eaten on tables, cars sit abandoned in driveways, and warm beds are left unoccupied. The pattern of these disappearances is as enigmatic as the antique store itself. They seem to strike at random, the young, the old, the strong, the weak. No one is exempt. A creeping fear begins to take hold as the town's population dwindles. Rumors circulate like wildfire, igniting the town with suspicion and dread. Whispers of the antique store's curse grow louder, its dark allure more potent. Some speak of seeing the lost souls in the store's dusty windows, their faces etched with terror, trapped in an endless nightmare. The local authorities stand helpless, their attempts to intervene met with empty streets and echoing silence. The town's church, once a beacon of hope, now stands as a reminder of the fear that has taken hold. The bell tolls not for time, but for those lost to the antique store's insatiable hunger. As the days turn into weeks, the town's fear intensifies. The antique store, with its creaking sign and grimy windows, becomes the center of all suspicion. It stands there, silent and foreboding, an embodiment of the town's collective terror. Many try to flee, but the town's borders seem to close in, trapping them in this chilling reality. Ravenshadow, once a home, now a prison, its residents the playthings of an unseen malevolence. With each passing day, the town's population dwindles, the antique store's insatiable appetite seemingly unquenchable. The dread grows, the disappearances continue, and the antique store waits, ever patient for its next unsuspecting victim. In the midst of the escalating terror, a group of strangers find themselves drawn to Ravenshadow, their fates intertwined with the antique store's sinister secrets. Our first stranger, a seasoned journalist with a knack for the mysterious, had been tracking the strange occurrences in Ravenshadow from afar. Intrigued by the town's haunted history and the recurring tale of the antique store, she found herself drawn to the enigma like a moth to a flame. Next, we encounter a wandering artist seeking inspiration in the most unusual places. He had heard whispers of Ravenshadow's cursed antique store and, eager for a muse, was drawn to the town's eerie charm. Then there's the retired detective. After years of solving complex cases, the mystery of Ravenshadow's vanishing residents was a challenge he could not resist. He arrived in town with a stern demeanor, a sharp intellect, and a resolve to expose the truth. Finally, we meet a vengeful mother. Her daughter had disappeared 13 years ago, on a day when the antique store had last surfaced. She had been waiting, biding her time for the store's return to seek out answers, and perhaps her lost child. Together, these strangers began their investigation, each step taken with trepidation, each clue unearthed with a mix of dread and anticipation. They prowled through the town, gathering stories from the locals, piecing together the puzzle of the antique store. Unbeknownst to them, they were not merely observers of the horror, but crucial pieces of the puzzle themselves. Their dreams became haunted with visions of the store, its weathered signs swinging in the wind, its windows reflecting their deepest fears. The store seemed to call to them, its silent allure pulling them towards a destiny they could not yet comprehend. As the days turned into nights, the strangers found themselves more entangled in the web of the antique store's mysteries. It was as if the town and the store had claimed them, their lives irrevocably linked to Ravenshadow's curse. As they inch closer to the truth, the antique store's dark allure grows stronger, its secrets whispering in the wind. The antique store, a Pandora's box of horror, confronts the strangers with their deepest fears, forcing them to confront the darkest corners of their minds. As they venture deeper into the labyrinthine store, a cloak of dread descends upon them. The air grows heavy and the shadows dance with sinister delight. It's not just the store they're exploring, it's the uncharted territories of their own psyche. Each room they enter is a twisted manifestation of their nightmares. For one, it's a room filled with mirrors, each reflecting a distorted version of herself, a cruel parody of her insecurities. For another, it's a library filled with books, the pages of which narrate his past failures in excruciating detail. The third, a claustrophobe, finds himself in ever-shrinking spaces, the walls closing in with each heartbeat. But amidst the personal horrors, they find clues, fragments of the store's cursed past. They discover that every 13 years the store reappears, preying on the fears of those unfortunate enough to step inside. The victims are never seen again, their existence wiped clean from the world, as if they were never born. The store, they learn, is a living entity, feeding off the fear and despair of its victims. It thrives on their terror, growing stronger with every soul it consumes. The more they fear, the more powerful the store becomes. They also unearth the store's insidious origin. It was once a man, a collector of curiosities, who was cursed by a vengeful witch for stealing a sacred artifact. Transformed into the store, he is doomed to wander, appearing every 13 years, seeking souls to ease his eternal torment. The store's secrets are as terrifying as they are mesmerizing, each revelation pulling them deeper into its inescapable grasp. As they uncover the store's history, they realize they're not just fighting for their lives, they're battling an ancient curse, a malevolent force that thrives on fear and despair. And the only way to escape is to confront and overcome their worst fears. As the strangers grapple with their personal horrors, they realize the store's true nature, a nightmarish realm from which there is no escape. Each step echoes hollowly through the musty corridors of the antique store, time and space distorted in this realm of fear. They are no longer strangers, but companions bound by a shared terror. Their worst nightmares come alive, taunting them with their most deep-seated fears. A sense of dread permeates the air, each heartbeat an echo of the terror that grips them. The store, a once benign sanctuary of antiquities, has now morphed into a twisted labyrinth. Its walls are not made of bricks and mortar, but of despair and hopelessness. Every corner they turn, every door they open only leads them deeper into the maze. The store takes sadistic pleasure in their futile attempts to escape, its curse becoming more apparent with each passing moment. It's a realm where the clock's hands are frozen at the witching hour, where the sun never rises to banish the darkness. There's an undercurrent of malevolent glee in the way the store toys with them. It feeds off their fear, growing stronger with each shudder, each gasp of terror. But amidst the escalating horror, a grim realization dawns upon them. They are not just trapped within the walls of the store. They are trapped within the confines of their own minds, prisoners of their own fears. Their nightmares are the chains that bind them, the store merely a manifestation of their darkest thoughts. In the end, they understand the cruel reality. The store's curse is not a supernatural phenomenon, but a mirror reflecting their deepest, darkest fears. They are its victims, forever trapped within its walls, their screams echoing in the silence of the night. In the heart of Ravenshadow, the antique store stands, an eternal monument of horror, its doors open for the next unsuspecting soul.